Hey, family. This is Steve Copeland. Steve Copeland. I want to check, make sure I'm streaming mainly to my Facebook, my regular Facebook page. Yeah, I see myself. I see myself. Yesterday, for some reason, it wasn't streaming. I wanted to come on here to touch a little bit on the what I just heard with Charleston White. I kind of got a little disappointed, right? Because it took me back to black people will not stick together. Black people will not stick together. Now, I'm going to say this, and I can only go off of what Karmelo stated. All that other bull crap, be honest with y'all, I try not to feed a lot into that. You get me? I can only go off of the information this young man said. When the young man said that, and I'm just talking about when Austin supposed that approached him in the tent and threatened to put his hands on him. Did not Carmelo Anthony tell him, if you put your hands on me, this is what I'm going to do? Did he not? Did he not? If we pay attention to what we're saying, he warned him, if you put your hands on me, this is what I'm going to do. Austin put his hands on him. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do. So he did not lie about that, right? But y'all want to make him out to be a liar. If I warn you about anything, and I'm going to say this, towards you touching me, I feel like I have the right. You can justify it, play with it any kind of way we want to defend myself. The only reason why I'm saying this, family, at 15 years old, I carried a 32 Derringer pearl handle that fit in the palm of my hand. Remember, I said at 15 years old, I was in the 10th grade. Okay? I carried a pistol and I kept it in my right pocket. You would not have known I had it unless I pulled it out. Now, to me, I don't know. Carmelo Anthony probably grew up in a more safer environment. I'm just saying. I don't really know. I haven't checked on that. I don't know if he had a healthy relationship with his father. I don't know that. Because in a sense, I do, I think about where his mental state was at. Number one, to be carrying a knife. See, y'all might not go this far with certain things. One, as a community activist, as a community organizer, as a community journalist, as a homeless advocate that deals with people with mental issues, and as a human rights advocate, these are the type of things or questions I'm going to ask. If you want to know probably why he had a knife. I'm going to ask. Because it's the reason why we carry stuff like that. Most of all, to protect ourselves or to hurt someone. But it got to be a reason for it. Either we was hurt some kind of way, and I got to go back to the household. So this is the reason why we carry certain things. To protect ourselves from danger. Let's keep it real. That's what the couch talk is all about. That's what BMore's Real Teen Talk show is all about. It's about keeping life real. And if you can't handle the truth, get out of the kitchen. Now, I made the statement for me only because of what the young man said. And I'm talking about Carmelo Anthony, not nobody else. He made the statement that he did do what he did as far as stabbing Austin. I don't think his intentions was to kill Austin, but this is what happened. I think it was to harm Austin, basically. Because it's not like he had hatred for him, or he, from what we understand, he wasn't bullying him. As far as him and his brother doing certain things to him because they knew him. And I can be wrong with that too. I looked it up. But it said they didn't know each other. That was the first time their encounter was at that field. From what I looked up. Now, I'm just going to say this because I was trying to leave it alone. I did not want to touch it myself. But number one, I'm not like everybody else for clout. Now, understanding or reading a little bit up about Texas laws, right? I understand that he could not use it as self-defense from him putting his hands on him. They wouldn't allow him to use that. So I got that. No defense laws for him in that case. So I got all of that. I understand it now. But then I understand too, it's a big conflict about them having, and I know it wasn't an all-white jury, but they was basically light-skinned. You get it? They felt as though it wasn't nobody black there to represent him. And I didn't know that till I heard a guy on TikTok say it, so I looked it up. And it did state it was no blacks there. Now they talking about the 3 women that was educators. And I'm going to tell you, the prosecutor, man, come on. Y'all know they good at playing their damn games, presenting cases. The defense attorney is the same. It's how you play the game. Now I understand. Karmelo mentioned what he did. Karmelo even said why he did what he did. Did he not? That's what I admired about him. Because he had admitted to his wrong. I'm not really crazy about what the other defendants said. Don't get it wrong. Because I know, and y'all know, how the prosecutor normally vet them before they go on the witness stand. On what to say, what not to say, how to say things. Mainly if they want to win their trial. Come on. I don't even think none of y'all paid attention to that. And to be honest with y'all, I wouldn't have never paid attention to something like that until what happened to me back in 2023. And the reason why I'm saying that, because that helped me understand how a lot of innocent people can go to prison because of the police and the police report. And they probably never really, not in his case, right, committed the crime. I seen what happened to me. I seen how they dragged me through the process. And still right now to this day, that first judge that let me out said, because something ain't right about this. Those fake charges in the police report. And this is my business. This is my housing program. The judge said it. The first judge said something ain't right with this. I haven't talked, and that's when I first came home after them fake phony charges, right? Now, I'm just saying this because I'm looking at how it started with, in my case, not Karmelo's. It started with the pencil, I say the ink pen in the paper. The ink pen in the paper, right? In my case. But I understand Karmelo did say why he did what he did. So I can only go off of what Karmelo stated. The rest of them, I'm going to read. Now, it stated that he went into the tent to get out the rain. Then it's something stated that he was invited to the tent. But either way, why Austin felt the need to go for him, I don't know. But that's all I can go off of what Karmelo Anthony stated. The point is, he told the freaking truth. Y'all are the ones that want to flip it and justify it and take it another way. I paid attention to what the young man said. And he stated, he said he told him, if he put his hands on him, he had that knife. And what he'd do. And he did it. So now, only because Austin put his hands on him, he touched him. Now, in Baltimore City, I know for a fact, you can hug a person. And if they felt as though you offended them, they can press charges on you. even though you just try and embrace them. I found that out because I'm a hugger. But I know legally you're not supposed to touch anybody. And I found that out in the process. So I understand he couldn't use that in Texas. They wouldn't allow him to use the self-defense law as far as him responding back. Then they felt like even though he touched him, if he had used his fists, then he probably could have, But it wouldn't have, if he had used his fists, it wouldn't have resulted into a murder. But now I'm going to say this right here. I would not have found him guilty only because he admitted to what he did and why. He warned them. So what is happening? They're giving the people the right to put their damn hands on you. Do y'all realize that? Do y'all realize it? Did y'all pay attention to it? Because they wouldn't let him use it as him defending himself. So the prosecutor, right, he flipped the script. And I'm going to tell you what tends to happen if we do not pay close attention to what's going on. They can convince the human mind. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Yeah, he was wrong for using a knife. He was wrong for doing what he did. But he warned them. He warned them. And I'm going to say this from the streets wise, right? Number one, if you're going to do something to somebody, you never tell them. You never give them heads up. All right? If I'm going to take you down, I'm going to take you down. I don't even want you to know it. When I was his age, and I'm talking about from 15, I was one big, evil, nasty guy. Full of hatred, bitterness, and all of that. See, y'all ain't looking at the deeper, the deeper. Blah, blah. Y'all didn't see the deeper issues that might have been there. Like I said, I was 15, and I carried a 32. Not only that, check it out. When I was 15, I had one of them bamboo knives with the blade that long. Look at my hand, that long. The handle was this small. The blade was that long. Mess with me. Mess with me. Okay? Mess with me. And I'm talking about as a young man. If you can't look back at your life, if that's not the way you carried yourself back during them days, then you won't understand what the hell I'm saying. You will not understand what I'm saying. And to be honest with you, I don't give a freak. Because I'm a grown man now, and I can better explain myself as a grown man than I could when I was at 15. And why I carry these things. So that's why people need to listen rather than running off at your mouth. Listen. From the age of 14, I started snorting cocaine. The age of 15, on top of that, I started shooting dope and cane. So that young, my mind was like, you know. But I'm looking at this young man, and I don't think he grew up in that type of surrounding, mind-wise, right? I don't know. That's why I said I'm gonna look deeper into it to find out where was his mental state at. And like I made a statement to AI, believe me, I don't know how many youngsters it was there all together, but he wasn't the only one carrying something. It's just some young people just carry stuff for protection, just in case something like that pops up. So people be like, I don't know why he carried. He had a knife in the field and this and that, the same way they carry PPs and all that at school. Normally for protection, for whoever might come up against them. Y'all need to open up your freaking minds. Unless y'all was never born. Unless y'all was never young. Because when you look at your own life and, some of the changes that you went through coming up, then you'll kind of understand why he had certain things. You get it? See, one thing about me, I don't have no reason to lie. I am not like a lot of y'all. That's why I started this talk show. Because you leave it up to me, a lot of y'all is a bunch of cowards. You can't be honest about yourself. That's all I'm saying in that sense. To thy own self be true. Now, I do want to say this before I go any further. My heart does go out to the Metcalf family because, number one, they lost their son. That's why with the teen talk show and everything, I've been saying lately, it's okay to walk away. Parents, teach your children it's okay to walk away. Watch this. Parents, teach your children it's okay to walk away. Then it hit me. Grown-ups, it's okay to walk away. Let me share this with you. I'm in Baltimore City. You on YouTube. All right. You're listening, right? You're listening. So you need to back that one up with your non-English speaking self. You listening. And I guarantee you, there's hundreds out there listening too. You just want attention. Look at you. You just want attention. I'm streaming to 7 other platforms while we're talking. I appreciate you being on YouTube, though. I appreciate you being on YouTube, because mark my words, you're not the only one that's listening to me. So go play with yourself. I'm just glad, look, I'm just glad you see it on YouTube, right? It ain't that, look, it's not that I was trying to get you there. I appreciate that you responding from YouTube. I do. The whole goal is to grow the channels. The hell is wrong with y'all? Be honest. But you know what? Be honest with you. Just to see that you're responding from YouTube, I know 9 times out of 10 you in another country somewhere. So I appreciate it. I do. I do. And believe this, I can't pronounce your name. I've been doing this for a while. One thing I learned, I was taught a long time ago, I'm sorry, do not pay attention to the viewers because my lives are seen all over the world. You get me? When I look at my analytic, whatever it's called, right? It'll let me know what percentage of people from America. It'll even let me know a percentage in Africa, the UK. It all depends on if y'all tune in. I try, you know what? I try to have fun. You get me? You get me? I try. I try not to take everything so personal. Mainly when it comes to reporting certain things. You get me? But I'm just saying this just to see that you are responding from YouTube. It does let me know. YouTube, I always say Twitch for X as well, right? So you got YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Now, I didn't pull up my TikTok because I wanted to talk a little bit about this Karmelo, right? So I didn't pull it up. But it just lets me know, like I said, no matter what, I'm glad you responding and I see it's from YouTube. Now it might not tell me right now like what country you from, but I know 9 times out of 10, it's a couple of other people that responded to me from YouTube. And I appreciate it. Here, please don't get it wrong. I appreciate it. Because I don't know what country you in. One guy, I forgot where he said he was at, but he was young. And he'll pop in and out from time to time. But it's just the point. It just helps me to see that y'all can see me. Basically around the world. You get me? And that's why I continue doing what I do, right? Because even though I might not see a lot of viewers, but it's a lot of people that's looking. They might not say much, but it's a lot. And that's when you get your report for that week. It'll tell you like what country, what percentage, I'm sorry, of the population might have tuned in. But it's people that listen a lot. They don't say a lot, you know. But now when I look at my thing throughout the week, my analytic, if I'm not pronouncing it right, when I look at it, it shows me, you know, what country, what viewers, the age, and all that type of stuff. Um, and it's just putting out a message. That's all. You know, I'm a community activist. I do a lot of work in trying to help reduce a lot of the criminal behaviors in Baltimore City. Not just me. It's a lot of organizations and businesses and nonprofits in Baltimore City that does a lot of great work. But what I have a tendency of doing, um, I'm not on that front row like I used to be, like on the front line. I'm not on the front line like I used to be. So this is the way I still use my voice. Coming on my couch talk, doing the teen talk show. So rather than me being in the crowd, this is my way of doing what I do. A lot of people, they are afraid. Nah, No, I'm not a part of Safe Streets, but be honest with you, I've been clean. I've been clean from that lifestyle for 33 years. So be honest with you, I would like to actually work with them because of so much negativity that's happening amongst them. And it's not all of them, but the whole thing with that street life. Remember what I was sharing about carrying the pistol at 15, having the machete around 15 and all that too? See, that's that old lifestyle. You get me? That's why I come on like I do. That's that old lifestyle. Now, since my life turned around and I've been clean now and out of that life for 33 years, I live a whole different way. Um, I'm gonna say this. Their motives, whoever started Safe Streets, the intention meant well. Because what they did, like you got your felons, you have your returning citizens, basically criminals, period, right? Who been in who went in prison, who got locked up for criminal stuff. You get me? But they didn't change this. This the biggest problem with a lot of the Safe Street members. They still running off of old street information. And if you have not changed your old ways of thinking, even though you haven't practiced certain things, you will go back to doing it. That's why the guy, Antoine Burton, a Safe Street guy. Now, he's supposed to have been one of the guys to encourage them and motivate them not to practice certain behaviors. But he goes out there and do what he did. It's a lot of them that's there, right, to be a living example that you can turn your life around. But if you have not turned this around, if you haven't got rid of those stinky thinking, you're going to, sooner or later, you're going to practice those behaviors. Because the thoughts are still there. It's just being able to do certain things and don't get caught. So you got to understand the criminal mindset. Safe Streets, from what I understand, Mayor Pugh, no, I'm sorry. Sheila Dixon formulated Safe Streets. The good part about Safe Streets, it helped criminals to get a job, to become employed, right? Which is fine. To go back out into the community. Their goal with Safe Streets was to reduce the gun violence in Baltimore City. That was their main goal. To reduce the gun violence. So they figured if they use criminals or ex-offenders to come out and work with the ones that's out here and help them turn their lives around, they didn't train them. They didn't train them to be able to go back out and help those that's committing criminal behaviors. They never trained them, right? So you got, I was going to say men and women. Now, I'm quite sure they got women too. But as a person that has 33 years clean and having lived that lifestyle in 33 years, I would really like, to be honest, to be a part of that team. Only to make sure the work is being done right. This is my way. YouTube, this is my way as a recovering person to come on here and talk a little bit about how it used to be, the lifestyle, right? And then go into a process of recovery and solutions. I'm about solutions, not staying in the problem. That's why, and I got to touch this back a little bit, YouTube. When I mentioned the Karmelo Anthony story, I love the fact that he told the truth. He was honest. Don't take that from him. He didn't justify, he didn't play with it, he didn't lie like most people. They'll make you think, oh, I slipped up or this had and that. I accidentally. He didn't do none of that. That's what y'all are missing. He admitted to why he stabbed Austin. That's why I said all that other stuff that everybody adding in, right? I understand that because that's what you do when you want to put a case together. You coach the witnesses too. Y'all know they do that. Because that one guy, Eddie, said he knew him or knew of him, then turned around to find out he knew more of Karmelo than he's trying to state. But you got to understand too, that's where the prosecutor come in at, of having him play with certain words. Come on, y'all know y'all understand the system. And by right, I'm not saying this because Karmelo Anthony is black. Because as a human rights advocate, we don't take sides. Okay? You can be black, white, green, purple, all of that. When it comes to defending your rights, we are going to defend your rights. As a civil rights advocate, and if we see that your rights have been violated, now the only thing with the National Alliance, they deal mostly when it comes to black people. The Center for Popular Democracy, I'm a part of them. The ACLU, I signed up. I've been a member of ACLU now for about a year. These are human rights lawyers, advocacy workers, volunteers and stuff. But before a lot of us open up our mouths towards certain things, we have to make sure we're a little bit more clear on what's happening. I can't speak as deep as some people might go, or say like your news reporters or your investigators who's there, who's actually investigating things. So a lot of times we can only go off of the information that the investigators repost or put back out. Or with our own theory, basically. That's why I said I can only go off of what Karmelo Anthony said. The rest of that bull crap, my thing is he already admitted to why he did it and said he warned them. Hey. And if y'all don't catch it, that's you. Because he told the truth. You cannot justify, you cannot twist his truth around. He said it. Now you can come back and say he could have walked away. He should have did this. He should have did that. Yes, but he didn't. Anthony could have walked away too. Anthony could have not said anything to him. So that would have been the biggest argument with a lot of us. It's not as much about the color. The color is there, but you can't get away with it. You get me? Well, overlook it. Now, the reason why, too, I just got up. Charleston White pulled his money back or his support for this young man. You supported Karmelo Anthony, not his father. I don't understand us. If you felt as though this young man, with the prosecutor's part of it, right? How can I put the words? How can I put the words? I don't care if you're a lawyer or not. Because when you out to defend somebody, you out to defend them. When you want to prosecute somebody, you do what you can to get them prosecuted. A lot of your defense attorneys become prosecutors. Okay? So look at it. Basically the same road that you travel. If you defending a person and that person actually committed a murder or a heinous crime in that sense, as a defense attorney, your goal is to do whatever you can to get them off. Only reason why I could say this, family, because I begin to see stuff as a human rights advocate, as a community activist, when it comes to the system. That's why I told my daughter, who got her bachelor's of art degree, the goal is right now she's working at a law firm. Everything I read up about the different things that they have to study to become a lawyer, she actually walking in that process. She's actually walking because she has to understand the constitutional rights too. And then it's the I'm getting ready to say the book of laws, the their book as well. But they have to understand your equal rights, your civil rights, your constitutional rights, and all of that. They have to they understand a little bit about like I want to say homelessness, housing, all of that. Is certain things that they have. I mean, I can't think of the names of it, family, but they have to have a little knowledge on each of it, just in case they represent people in these areas, right? Rather, it's I'm looking at the jobs, like when some people get fired from a job and then they go hire a team to help them out, stuff like that. So they have to study a little bit of everything to pass the bar exam. And I was looking at it, I was reading through it, and it reminds me of everything that we do as community organizers. Now, I was with Communities United, and we fought to reduce the police budget. And they reduced it that year about 20 million. But guess what? They end up putting the money back the next time. Yep. I didn't know that till I looked it up. Because I told my director after what happened with me, I said, when we go to fight that bill again to reduce the police budget, I said, I want to speak mainly out on it because I seen what happened with me. So I told her, I said, I will speak on it. I see how it's set up with just the police officer themselves. See, a lot of y'all won't speak on the level that I speak on. And I know too, as a community activist or organizer, stuff like that, we put our life on the line. We say things that a lot of people are afraid. I'm not a paid organizer. Most of you, now I could be completely wrong, but I'm saying the organizers that got paid at Communities United could not use their voice in a sense like I could because I didn't get paid. I wasn't a paid organizer. So I could step across certain lines in speaking from what a regular an organizer, paid organizer can do. I became a board member with Communities United for almost 2 years. So when it came to us sitting down talking about issues in the community, now understand this. I'm the type of person, we just don't see the issues. I will talk about ways and means that we can slow a lot of this stuff down, but basically come in with solutions. I come from the streets. I can just about tell you what we can do to help the people that need our help the most. Can y'all? So it's people like myself, like-minded now, that created grassroots organizations or businesses, nonprofits, to go back and clean up the community. It's not your politicians. That's why now, understanding what I do today, I'm not coming for Mayor Scott. He's doing the best he can politically. I'm not coming for our people that's in the House of Delegates. They lawmakers. I'm not coming for our council members because my eyes are open today. I see it a little bit more clear now. They are just lawmakers. We are the solution. So whenever something happening in the community, right, you ain't gonna never hear me say, oh, Brandon Scott this, Brandon Scott that, or Ivan based this, Ivan based that, because they didn't commit the crime. It's normally your relatives, somebody in your house. Who out there hustling? Brandon Scott ain't hustling. Not on the corners. Ivan Bates, not on the corners. Our council members, not on the corners. Our senators, not on the corner. Now I ain't gonna say they might not put the package out now, but they not on the front row. You get it? So it's not them, it's the community. But you know what? We're turn around pointed at. Brandon got that, Bass got that, I base this, I base that, Westmore this, Westmore that. Westmore is not in the freaking communities, causing this chaos and confusion. But y'all are real great at pointing the fingers, and you know 9 times out of 10 that's your son, that's your daughter, that's your nephews, they're your grandkids in your community. Turn up your community, and you are afraid to address your own freaking children. Know why I can say that? Because mine didn't grow up like that. I come from the streets, so I had to show them something totally different about life. I'm only on here to encourage, to motivate, to empower, to inspire us as a group of people. Yeah, sometimes I want to mind my own business. My family doing great. No matter who I might see, And I'm going to tell y'all this right here. I might not see a lot of viewers. But when I get my, like, when they send me my thing for the week or whatever, I see a lot of y'all watching me. A lot of y'all might not be saying nothing, but it shows me a lot of people actually watch what I do as far as with my mouth. As far as talking about the programs, the LaTanya D. Copeland House of Hope, my LLC. A lot of y'all, whether y'all stand beside me or not, listen, watch me, but you're too scared to respond. And I can't blame you. I can't. Sometimes I get disappointed because I feel like we should come together more as a unit. But lately, I want to say thank y'all. Because once I get that for the week, the analytic and analytic, they let me know like the participations and stuff, I'll be so proud. I'll be so proud. Even though I made the statement the other day, sometimes I feel like I'm walking by myself. I'm not. I know a lot of people in NA. Been there for 33 years. A lot of them are focusing more on their recovery, which they supposed to. God prepared me to put my life in order so I can go back and help those that's lost. As an ordained deacon, what did Christ and them do? Why did the disciples call on the seven? If you know why they called the seven, that's what this deacon does. Go back into the community to deal with the community issues. See, I say I'm a deacon. A lot of y'all don't even know and understand what a deacon position is or what he was called to do. And the good part about it, the blessing is, I'm walking in it. I'm walking in it. This is part of ministry for me. With the LLC, with the LaTanya D. Copeland Housing Program, that will tell you that will explain everything to y'all. As a deacon, what I was called to go back in the community to do. Walking in it. This is like the pulpit right here. I know it's a lot of y'all all over this world when I open up my mouth. It's a lot of y'all. And I am going to get ready to end this. I wanted to come on because yesterday, when I started my 6 o'clock, for some reason, I didn't go live on my regular. It's my regular Facebook page, but that's an email address as well for facebook.com. So I didn't understand when I did it what it was. but that's my main Facebook page, which is considered as an email address. And it's a public page as well. So it's the two that's kind of combined. As well. So it's the two that's kind of combined. Now, I'm not this evening, God's will, when I come back on at 6 o'clock, recovering from an addictive lifestyle and street unhealthy habits. Recovering from addictive lifestyle and street unhealthy behaviors. I'm going to tie post-traumatic slave syndrome in this as well. And the reason why I said I'm going to tie it in, because that's that mental, emotional, and spiritual bondage that a lot of us is caught up in. And if you're familiar with PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome, and if you understand the Jim Crow laws, it's been designed to actually keep people in prison mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's keep you in bondage. We already know that it's a system designed for that. We already know the school to prison pipeline. Some of y'all might not never heard of it. It starts off at a very early young age when you don't properly educate our young men. A lot of times, not just educate them, but you got to inspire them. You got to build up their character. You got to build up their confidence. You got to build up. And I'm only sharing it because I didn't have nobody there to actually help me. So I understand why I started doing a lot of the stuff I started doing back then. Because I didn't have nobody. My mother was there. She done the best she could with what she had. That's why it is important for the mother and the father to be in their children's lives. Y'all might not can't live in the same place, but that don't mean y'all can't raise your two or your children. Even when I left my first wife, I knew no matter what, I had to be a significant part of my daughter's life. When I left my second marriage, I knew no matter what, I had to be a significant part of my children's lives. Because even though I wasn't in the household, I did not want them to feel like daddy abandoned them, even though they might have felt that way anyway. But I was trying to fill that gap because I wasn't in the house. And I know a lot of y'all don't understand what I'm saying, and a lot of y'all don't care to understand what I'm saying. I already know. It's life. Everybody not gonna get it. You get it? Those who hear me and maybe not a part might decide to become a part. You get me? Those that's already doing it, keep doing it. So I'm gonna get ready to end this. Karmelo Anthony. I'm kind of waiting to see what happened with the retrial, because The prosecutor made sure, believe me, that it wasn't no blacks on there. That's where he messed up at. The prosecutor made sure that it wasn't no blacks on there. It probably would have been a hung jury, but he made sure it wasn't no blacks on it. Now we can make it a race thing because they throwing up all these other white boys that then killed people the same way basically and got less time. They still paying for their crime, right? It's just that they got less time. So I love y'all, and I'm gonna go ahead and end this. And Charleston White, please stop flip-flopping, bro. That did not look professional at all. That did not look professional, bro. I had the utmost respect for you, bro. For some of the things you say and all that. You're gonna turn your back on this young man for his father. You're not supporting his father. You are supporting Karmelo Anthony for a new legal team. If his father spoke with you or not, bro, your heart was in the right place to support this young man on a new trial. Now you flip the script. So now they making you center of attention. That's sad, bro. Then took a lot of the weight off of him. So now they putting it on you. Because that's all they talking about now is you withdrawing. Whew. Black people.